Today, we're going to do a deeper dive into Cognitus's AI-powered cash application tool. Cash application as a process is traditionally very time-consuming and error-prone. It involves manually uploading payment advice and remittance files, manually mapping the fields from those files to connected systems, trying to map them to open invoices and to bank transactions when relevant as well too. Cognitus's tool provides a way to streamline that entire process and nearly automate the entire thing while allowing human oversight for exceptional use cases and reviews, as opposed to always manually having to maintain the process from start to finish. If we look at the tool, a lot of this is consolidated data from connected systems. So background jobs and bank transaction files that might be fed directly into the tool or into connected ERP systems. We manage, data connected to ERPs like SAP, for instance, invoices and customers, which are going to be critical master data elements from a payment advice file upload and a matching perspective. In order to get the best use out of this tool, there are really three main steps that need to be taken for users. The first is to manage the different templates or payment file types that they are going to expect from their payers. As you can see here, you can have one to many different templates that are supported within your tool. If we look at a specific example, the process itself is quite straightforward. You take one of the file templates that you have, you upload it into the system, and the OCR and AI technology does really the rest of the work for you. Once the upload happens, you can see the file itself on the side to do a side-by-side comparison, and AI will take the first pass at extracting the fields and mapping them to your system setup. This is where a business analyst or key user will also have input to be able to make sure that all mappings are correct. This will be critical for the accuracy and level of confidence on future extractions related to documents of this type. As you'll see, the extraction can happen both at the header and the line item level. And you'll notice that some of the extraction codes are very straightforward. The cage code maps to the cage code, whereas others might not be as straightforward, like an EFT number equating to a payment advice number. So that's where the AI will take the first pass, and then business analysts will go through and make sure that everything that came out does map to your specific fields from a integration and transformation perspective. You can have one to many different fields that are mapped in this way. Then, usually through a master data sync between systems like an ERP, your payers will be made available in our cash application tool. This is really just for ease of use and reference, and it's also to allow you to map and manage the templates to specific payers. Now, you can have one or multiple templates that are assigned to any given payer, and this allows you to be flexible from a management perspective, knowing that these templates may change from time to time or even frequently. So, staying up to date on latest versions of templates and things of that sort no longer has to be a burdensome and time consuming process. You can really have as many templates as necessary assigned to a given payer so that when you receive these files in from that payer, whether it's manually uploaded or automatically transferred in from a connected system or source, it will find the best template match and then perform a high level of confidence extraction. Once those two boxes are checked from a setup and preparation perspective, then really the last step is to just receive the payment files, which is the best part about this is receiving payments, but it's removing the manual effort to match those payments to your overdue or outstanding invoices to make sure that your cash application process itself is nice and tidy. So the first view is all of the payment advice files that are currently in the system. You have configurable statuses with color codings to identify to users where these specific files are at in their life cycle from a management perspective. You can drive notifications to users about the success or even the errors around payment file processing. This really allows users, again, to transform their time from manual end-to-end processing into focusing on the exceptions and the challenges so that they can refocus their efforts to really drive more value to your business as opposed to being burdened down by heavily administrative tasks. In here, we can talk about different ways that we receive payment advice files. They come in all different formats. They could be PDFs, emails, Excel files, portal downloads. They come in from many different sources as well, too. They can come from inboxes, share drives, file feeds, customer portals, bank transactions. All of these are document types and formats, structured and non-structured, that our tool will support. And using our advanced artificial intelligence and machine learning, you will always get a high level of accuracy from the first extraction with a learning model that will continue to pick up different trends, behaviors, specific even to customers and payers, to only grow that level of confidence as you use the tool more and more. When we add a file, even if we take the fairly manual approach of uploading it from our local machine, you'll see the time saved in just a matter of seconds. So the first thing we can do is associate this to a specific payer. We can use a fuzzy search to find all of the payers that are available within our system. From there, it will assign a template and it will derive the best fit template based on the information that it has. But if there were multiple, we could also select and specifically assign one as well too, based on our knowledge as the user uploading these documents. And then from there, we really just choose the file. In this case, we're going to go with a somewhat complex example. This is actually a payment advice file from a particular payer that's referencing three different invoices. So this is traditionally a challenge in cash application because it likes to be one-to-one, where it's one payment towards one invoice, but we know that that's not the reality of things with our customers. So we are able to take multi-line, multi-page remittance files and have the AI model do the heavy lifting to be able to extract the information and then map it where it needs to go from a field value perspective, so that we can not only automate and facilitate the intake process of getting these payments into our system, but then also allowing the magic of the matching to make sure that we're completely reconciled and understanding everything that's going on from the payments that were made and the invoices and the line items of the invoices that they need to be mapped to. In this case, it may or may not be associated to a bank transaction. In a manual file upload, there might not be a bank transaction that we have to tie this to. In a completely automated scenario, this could find that bank transaction for us and automatically assign it, or users can go through and actually see the bank transactions that exist within the system. And in this case, we'll want to match either the customer's name or the amount or whatever reference keys we might have available to us to be able to make that decision to select this transaction as the one that is going to be associated to this payment file. And then from there, it's as simple as clicking one button, and this will kick off an end-to-end process that not only extracts the fields, maps them to where they need to be, validates connected information. All of those, and above are done in just a matter of seconds, whereas it would have taken minutes or hours, depending on the complexity and the size of some of these files. And we can see that as time runs, the status will change from a processing perspective. So it was in queue, now it's being processed. And then once it runs, we'll get a notification that it's been fully extracted and potentially even exported to a connected system, again, based on how our system setup is maintained and managed here. When we go look at the process itself, we can see where it's at from that perspective. So it's running through and actually identifying the information, analyzing structures, processing information both at the header and at the line item level. And then once the extraction has been completed, we'll be able to see the outcome of the details around payment date fields and line items of values, associations to bank transactions, et cetera, that run through the process. Now that it's successfully exported, we can see the status of all of the different deliverables that took place, the timestamps related to those as well. We can see the file itself is the same one that we looked at before with the different line items by different invoice numbers in one single payment remittance. We can have AI summarize this information for us if necessary, and then we can confirm the values, seeing here that there are different reference keys, different billing document or invoice numbers, different payment amounts across all of those, and the bank transaction that we linked is here as well too, which in our system is allowing us to then export it to a connected ERP system. So thank you for the time today. And really what we like to show you here is how Cognitus's AI-powered cash application can transform your finance team, moving them from manual data entry into intelligent exception handling, allowing them to become finance teams that create the most value for your organization.